Hi Gemini, welcome and thank you for tuning into my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. Today is Saturday, June 12th, 2020. You are watching a general love reading for the sign of Gemini for this upcoming week in June. For all of my viewers, I want you to remember that this is a general reading, so it can pertain to anything, relationships, but it can also apply to situations and circumstances surrounding family, home, work, social circles, frenemies, enemies, situationships. If you can think of it, it might apply. Okay, Gemini? Be flexible with the energy. Don't be concerned about the gender of the cards. You can mix and match the roles within the reading. In other words, you might be represented by any of the characters that shows up in the cards, and you may not show up in the cards at all. You might feel like you are cross-watching for somebody that you're dealing with, even if you are a Gemini. The story that comes out is the message that needs to come out for those that need to hear it. My intention is to reach those, again, that will benefit in some way, shape, or form from this message. Parts of the reading may resonate for you, other parts may not. Take what does, leave behind what doesn't. Hopefully by the end you feel like you have something worthwhile and beneficial to you in some way, shape, or form. Okay, Gemini, so we're going to get started here after a couple more shuffles. If you are brand new to my channel, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you giving my videos a chance. See if they resonate for you. There is more specific information in the description box. And returning viewers, thank you for your support. Thank you for coming back. Okay, Gemini, so let's give this deck one more shuffle and we're going to get started and see what we get for you guys for this upcoming week. Here we go. So we're going to start off with the Fool and the Six of Pentacles. Temperance in reverse. Five of Wands. Knight of Swords. The High Priestess in reverse. Eight of Swords in reverse. And the Three of Wands in reverse. So I'm getting kind of just a general basic message from this first set of 8 cards. And what I got from these two is, Gemini, you might be feeling like you just want a fair shot of having a new start. Maybe taking a chance on something brand new. Maybe trying something different. Maybe you feel like you're in a rut. Maybe you feel like you want to move on to something new and different in your life. Related to, career, family, home, friends. Maybe a new endeavor. Something of that nature, but it feels like you want to have a fair shot at trying something new or giving something new a chance. You might be being met with maybe people who are disagreeing with your desire or your hopes. Maybe people are debating whether or not this is the right choice for you. Maybe you have friends and or family or people you're close to that are not necessarily super supportive. But I feel like you're getting ready to make some moves, take a chance regardless, and give it a shot. I don't know, it feels to me with these last two cards, Eight of Swords, Three of Wands in reverse, to me this could indicate that you're kind of just tired of waiting around, tired of waiting for something to fall into your lap, and instead you're going to go out and you're going to go ahead and get it. Take action instead of sitting and waiting for something to transpire that's not. Maybe you've had a certain expectation that something was coming your way and it just hasn't transpired for you, and you're tired of sitting around waiting for it. And maybe you're thinking, well, it's not right for me. Obviously, if it's not happening, then it's not meant for me. I'm going to go out and try something new on my own, something totally different. Take a chance, take a risk. See what's out there in the world for Gemini. Let's get some more cards out here for you and see what else we get. Three of Cups. There's the Fool again. Nice. Nine of Wands in reverse. Queen of Cups. Knight of Swords in reverse, clarifying the Knight of Swords. Eight of Wands in reverse. The High Priestess in the upright. You're getting a lot of repeats already. I only have 16 cards out. 15, 16 now. Two of Cups. So this is going to be an interesting reading. So I feel Gemini, that it's possible you have a social circle, possibly a small group of friends, maybe some family members that are willing to take this leap of faith with you. You all kind of have the same mindset. You're all kind of on the same page. Yes, there might be some risks involved, but you have each other's support. And you're all thinking the same thing. You're ready to start something new, to try something different. Maybe manifest something that you've been hoping for. It just hasn't happened for you, but it's because you haven't taken the steps forward. You've been resistant, maybe because you felt like you didn't have what you needed. Maybe you didn't feel like you had the information or the support or the know-how. Maybe you felt unprepared, but at this point in time, regardless, you're ready to take some action and make some moves and get past what's been holding you back, which is maybe just a sense of feeling hesitant or uncertain, wary, because it's new, because you don't have any experience under your belt. But if you never take that first step forward, then you'll never know, that type of thing. This could be related to a relationship, a connection, something you've been uncertain about. Maybe you're moving toward making a connection with somebody or starting some new relationships. But as it stands right now, I don't think that these have transpired for you yet. I think it's something you might be looking forward to, something you might be anticipating. But again, the only way that you can move toward this is if you make some risks, you take some steps forward. So we have a Queen of Cups on the table. This could be your energy, Gemini. This could be somebody that you're dealing with. I feel like this is the person who is launching out to try something new, taking some risks, desiring a new start. But I think that this person is being met with some dissension, some conflict, maybe some discussions or arguments surrounding what it is that you're planning on doing, what it is that you're desiring. I don't feel like you're willing to entertain having conversations or debates regarding what it is you'd like to do for yourself, what it is you feel is a positive move in the right direction for yourself. So you might be just letting this kind of thing roll off your back. Sure, you may be listening to the words, but I don't think that you're allowing other people to affect your decisions that you're currently making. The Queen of Cups is somebody who's very loving and compassionate. She knows what she has to offer. She's a very intuitive individual. She's not going to go knocking on other people's door asking for someone to connect with. She's going to wait, and those people will eventually come into her life, and she's going to seize the opportunity when she sees it. But she knows what she has to offer, and she's not going to settle for anything less than what she is worthy of. And I think that this person right now, this feels like it could be an independent individual, somebody who is on their own, maybe not partnered up necessarily with anybody. But I do feel, again, like Gemini, this could represent you kind of taking an independent stance with regard to a new start, but I do feel like there's other people involved, close friends or family. It could be, again, that you've been a little bit hesitant to take those first steps forward just because you feel like you are uncertain about the path ahead, or perhaps some of these people who are kind of talking you out of taking some risks that you've been wanting to take, maybe they've held you back because they made you feel a little insecure or uncertain about what it is that you want to do. But I think at this point in time, based on what I'm seeing, you're ready to make some moves. I do feel like you have some support. Not everybody is anti-Gemini regarding what Gemini wants to do. So let's get some more cards out. We have the King of Swords in reverse. And then we have the Page of Swords in reverse. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. The Devil, interesting. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Three of Swords in reverse. Four of Wands. And Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay. So Gemini, I think this King and Queen of Swords in reverse could represent some of the people that could be causing you some grief. Maybe some of the ones that have held you back. Maybe even to the point of putting you in a state of stagnation because of the sense that they're just not supportive. It feels like this King of Swords in particular is feeling like maybe the decisions you are making or the plans that you have or your thought processes regarding this new beginning or these opportunities that you might be moving toward are immature or not well thought out. That's what I'm getting from this page and this King of Swords. Surrounding this new beginning, possibly again with a group of friends, group of family members, people who are on the same page, and then there's this one person, this King of Swords. I don't know if this person is actually part of this group or outside of this group. I'm inclined to think that this person is outside of this group. Because when I saw this first set of cards, I thought, okay, well, these people are all on the same page. Their intentions are matching up with regard to this new beginning. But this King of Swords feels like he is not agreeable with regard to the situation. Again, I'm not sure, Gemini, if this is somebody who's actually involved in this group. This could be one dissenting voice within this group of people. I get the feeling that this person doesn't think that things have been well thought out or well thought through, and that your actions are going to result in failure because things are not well thought through or well thought out. I think this person could be causing you some grief because if they are indeed involved in this group dynamic where it feels like you all are kind of willing to have a fresh start, try something new, then this person's perspective is causing you some grief, and again might be the one that's holding things back or holding things up, creating obstacles, creating delays, causing problems. But then we also have this Queen of Swords. This Queen of Swords might be your energy. This Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords, possibly might be the same person. It could be the connection between this King and Queen. I feel like there could be a very close connection between these two, but they're disagreeing. They could be partnered up within this group dynamic. I feel like there's more than just these two people, though. But something hasn't transpired between these two the way that I think that this Queen expected. And again, I think that this Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords is the same person. Something didn't transpire or hasn't worked out with regard to this particular relationship between this King and Queen. And there's something either not being spoken out loud or not being addressed, but there's some kind of hidden issue with regard to this connection, this King and Queen of Swords. I feel like this Queen of Swords is the Queen of Cups as well. So it could be the lack of communication or the communication itself that's causing conflict. I feel like there's disagreements. This has me confused. It showed up clarifying this Five of Wands. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is indicating stagnation, inability to move forward, not being able to, feeling stuck, not being able to resolve an issue. There could be something that needs to be resolved first between this King and Queen before things can move forward, and that hasn't happened. And it could be that this Queen of Cups is just like, well, I'm just going to accept things the way they are. I love you regardless of our disagreements and our disappointments, but I'm going to go ahead and move forward with this, even though we're currently disagreeing. And I know this is causing you grief, says this Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, but I'm going to go ahead and move forward with this anyway. And I think her approach of, I have unconditional love, I'm going to treat you with the same compassion and loyalty that I always have. This approach with this Queen and how she is handling the situation could be what's causing conflict between this King and Queen. Which doesn't make a lot of sense if I'm being honest. Because if you're the Queen of Cups, I mean, your intention is to make sure that people understand that you're offering your unconditional love. You want everybody to be happy. But she's also not somebody who's going to put up with someone not treating her right either. So it could be that she's like, oh, I'm just going to dismiss what you have to say because right now I know that you don't mean it because this is not how you treat someone like this. You support somebody like the Queen of Cups. You consider her feelings and you respect what she has to offer. So this dissension is not something she's willing to entertain necessarily. I think this Queen of Swords is saying, you know what, I have these long-term goals in my mind. I am moving towards a Four of Wands. I have been working toward this, moving towards this, trying to build this for myself and for those around me that I love, and this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to have. And I'm not going to allow a connection or relationship to get in the way of that. So she could be, again, I feel like this King and Queen, it's possible this King is not an external energy. It's possible that he's actually involved within this group dynamic and there's this disagreement between this King and Queen. Maybe this Page of Swords in reverse on the Six of Pentacles is indicating that it's kind of a false narrative indicating that everything's on the up and up with regard to everybody's feelings about this new beginning. That everybody isn't on the same page. Specifically, this King of Swords. That's a big lie. because this King of Swords is not on the same page, although he's involved with this group dynamic. Maybe he feels like he's not being heard. The King and Queen of Swords too, I mean, these two can be very cutting and brutal with their communication, very harsh and cold when they're in the reverse. These people feel like they're clashing for sure. It can also indicate lack of communication or unwillingness to communicate, or an inability to, if these two are not seeing eye to eye. But at least at this point in time, it feels like the Queen's intentions are to move forward, whereas this King's intentions are, we need to think this through more, because if we don't address some of the insecurities that we're feeling regarding the situation, then we're moving in the wrong direction, and it's going to ultimately fail and cause more problems. So let's get some more cards out here, Gemini. This is a pretty interesting reading. Let's see what else we get. So we have the Nine of Pentacles, clarifying this Three of Cups. And then we have the Two of Cups, clarifying the Fool. My son's alarm is going off. Doesn't mean he's getting out of bed. It's about the 4th time it's gone off, and he's probably going to sleep for at least another 2 hours. But if you hear the rant, rant, rant in the background, it's his alarm, just so you're aware of the external noise. Death in reverse. Page of Wands in reverse. The Chariot in reverse. Five of Swords. Queen of Wands in reverse. And then we have the Fool in reverse. Okay, this is really interesting. This is really interesting. Okay, so the story is taking a complete turn. This Queen of Cups, again, this could be your energy, Gemini, or somebody that you're dealing with. But it's the same person as this Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords. And there is indication on the table here that this might be a false front. That what this person is representing is not who they really are. And that's possibly what's causing the disruption or disagreements within this group dynamic. This King of Swords, I feel, is ready to say, look, if we can't be open and frank about what's going on and where we're moving and where we're heading and how we're going to take steps forward, then I might be forced to branch off on my own. I think this King of Swords might be saying, I'm gonna go ahead and do my own thing if we can't agree that, first of all, that there are disagreements. I think that there's some kind of denial that there's a conflict here. And I think it's the Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands now, who's a little bit in denial that there's some disagreements here. And this King of Swords is getting ready to pack his bags and say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take off on my own, because it is a big fat lie that everybody is on the same page. And the reason why it appears that everybody's on the same page is because of this particular connection between this Queen and King, which appears at least on the outside, that everything is just fine and dandy. Things are going well. it could be that this new beginning has promises of a new start for these two, this King and Queen of Swords. But this King is not feeling the same way that this Queen is. And I feel like she's disregarding his opinions or his point of view. And secretly making it look like she's supportive and loving and giving in an unconditional manner, but in reality, she is the Queen of Wands, which is somebody who's going to get her way no matter what. The Queen of Wands is somebody who does not compromise. The Queen of Wands is somebody who is going to have her way no matter what. This Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups has made her mind up. And it's possible that her intentions are going to negatively affect the relationship, or what appears to be more likely is it's going to negatively affect the circumstances that this person, these people are in, this new beginning, this new start. Because of this disagreement, it feels like it could be creating some obstacles that will result in a lack of movement, an inability to move forward because there is unresolved issues within this particular relationship or this group dynamic or both. And because things haven't been thought through and resolved, there is something that's coming to a screeching halt. Because I think it's this King of Swords who's saying, look, I'm not going to I'm going to not take any steps forward with what's going on here because we have this unresolved conflict, and what it's going to ultimately result in is failure. We're going to drop the ball in this situation. We're not going to be able to get moving on this new start, this new beginning, because we are disagreeing about something that's significantly important. It could be the direction that's being taken. It could be the method that this Queen is taking to move forward. But I get the feeling that this Queen of Swords is like, you know what? Things haven't been going my way for a long time, so now I'm going to take matters into my own hands. And frankly, I don't care how you feel about it. I'm doing it my way. You know, it's interesting, Gemini, because this first set of cards felt positive with that little tidbit of, you know, maybe there's some external parties who are disagreeing with where you're headed or what you're doing, and now this has turned into one big mess as far as I can tell, and it really is stemming from the disagreement between this King and Queen of Swords, who can't seem to see eye to eye. And while they're both on the same page to a certain degree, like it feels like what happened is there's been some plans to move forward, to take steps in a direction of having this new beginning, this new start. But then at some point in time, this Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups stopped listening to how other people wanted things to transpire and started doing things her way. With little or no regard for others and how they were feeling, and ultimately that added a toxic element to this group dynamic. Because while she may have been representing herself as somebody who is compassionate, loving, unconditional with regard to her connections, the people that she cares for, it was a front and ultimately failed, and it's causing some big problems. Now, Gemini, I indicated from the beginning I thought possibly this Queen of Cups energy was your energy, and you know, it could very well be that this is who you are in this reading. And so, and I'm not sitting here trying to judge. It may sound like I'm judging when I explain you know, what these cards mean and how this represents the energy of the person, but I'm not. I don't know your situation. I do know that they're, based on what I'm seeing in the cards, that there's significant disagreement, and it's because there's two people in particular who are not seeing eye to eye, and this could be detrimental to your endeavor, whatever it is you're pursuing. Gemini, now if you're not this Queen of Cups, you could be another person who's involved in this situation but not represented in this reading. You could also represent this King of Swords. I'm also not going to sit here and say that this King of Swords is right or wrong, because he may not be. He's also in the reverse and dwelling in some shadow energy as well. And there's my son. He's out of bed. The alarm worked this time. Yay! I am going to be done with this in about 5 minutes, maybe 10. Okay. Okay, Gemini, let's get this last round of cards out and see what we get for this last round. We have Judgment, Devil in reverse, Six of Wands in reverse, Ten of Wands, Seven of Swords. I knew this was going to come up, and there it is. Seven of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles in reverse, and then the Four of Pentacles. So as it stands right now, it looks like there is definitely some disharmony with regard to the expectations. Moving towards this Four of Wands, new beginning, new start, whatever it is that this group dynamic or this partnership is building or moving toward, there is definitely an imbalance with regard to how things are being perceived and how things are moving. Right now, things are moving in the direction that this Queen wants them to go, and it may not be, this may not be spoken out loud, that things are moving in her direction the way she sees things should go. I don't know that that is necessarily being addressed overtly, but that's how things are going at this point in time. What it's causing is some disruption within the actual connections within this effort, and there's some hesitancy surrounding the actual connections on whether or not this effort is going to move in the right direction with the people that are currently involved, because people are seeing things differently right now. And there's some uncertainty surrounding the actual relationships themselves, not necessarily what these people are moving toward or what their goal is, but within the relationships themselves. I think that if there isn't communication, if these words have not been spoken out loud about the imbalance, or the fact that some people are feeling like they're not being heard, their voices are not being heard, their thoughts are not being addressed regarding this new beginning, that needs to happen in order for things to be resolved, in order for things to move in a positive direction for everybody involved. And currently that's not happening. If this is going to move in the right direction, then everybody does need to be on the same page, and that is currently not the way things are moving. And this king may have stated out loud, may have spoken the words, or his intentions are that his decision is going to be to move in a separate direction in this group if he's not heard. Because right now, things are completely imbalanced, and that's what's causing the stagnation, the lack of movement, the inability to move forward, because not all parties involved in the situation are agreeing with this. Now, this was that first set of cards, Gemini, where I thought maybe there was some external parties who were uncertain about the direction you were going, the opportunities you were moving toward, the risks you were getting ready to take, this new beginning, this full card energy where you're getting ready to try something new, have a new start at something. Again, this could be external parties who are still doubtful about the direction you're going, or this could be now representing at least this King of Swords, if not others, who are directly involved with the situation you find yourself in. It could be that you're just not ready to go. Maybe this feeling like, well, we don't have all the information we need. We don't have all the resources we need in order to move forward, but we're just going to go ahead and take a chance anyway and go out on a limb and just see if it works. Maybe that's a positive mindset to have, and maybe you think, okay, you know what, if I just take that first step forward, things will start falling into place. But in reality, with Seven of Swords showing up here, you could be fooling yourself into thinking that taking these first steps forwards, making decisions without everybody being on board in this moment in time, maybe you think if you just start moving forward that things will fall into place, that people will start to see, oh, okay, things are fine, things are moving in the right direction, we're going to hop on board now, everybody's happy again, and we're all moving in the same direction and all on the same page. I think it's possible with the Seven of Swords showing up, Gemini, that it could indicate that you could be fooling yourself into thinking this way because you're just hopeful that that's how things will be. Hopeful that if you just start making moves in the direction you want to go, that things are going to fall in place and everybody's going to be happy. Over time, things will work themselves out and everything is going to be just fine, but that's not what the cards are indicating. So we're going to get a Dreams of Gaia tarot card, Gemini, and see what we can get for you. Maybe some advice, some encouraging words from Spirit, maybe a little bit more information regarding the situation, although it looks pretty clear. I'm going to go ahead and take this one. It's nice that it popped out quickly. Intuition. This one came up not too long ago for another reading. So intuition, as we all know, it's very important to pay attention to your intuition. Usually if your gut is telling you something, you should probably listen to it, because it generally means that Spirit is trying to push you in a certain direction. And if you pay attention to your gut, your instincts, you will likely go in the right direction. So I'm going to read the general meaning of this card, and then we're going to wrap this up. It's about a page long, Gemini. So here we go. There are many words and phrases used to describe the subject of the sixth influence card, intuition. That funny feeling, an inkling, a sneaking suspicion, a hunch, a knowing, a feeling in one's bones, a gut feeling, a premonition, a presentiment, and a foreboding. I think I said that right, presentiment. It is inexplicable. You cannot pinpoint why you feel or believe as you do. You just know it in your gut, and every fiber of your being demands that you listen. What is intuition? Intuition is your sixth sense. Intuition is a knowing or gut feeling that you experience without fully understanding the logic or reason behind the feeling. It might defy rational thought or explanation, but you want to trust it nonetheless. Intuition is a bridge between conscious and unconscious minds, between instinct and reason. It is your unconscious mind communicating with you. It can come to you in a flash of insight or feeling, or you can have an intuitive experience within a dream or daydream. It is also something quite often experienced during creative endeavors. In fact, most creative endeavors are better for being intuitive. Intuition is knowing that something needs to be done, not knowing why it needs to be done, but trusting and doing it anyway. Why? Because our intuition provides solutions. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt a certain vibe? Or met someone you were at ease with from the very first moment and felt like you have known them forever? Have you ever had that feeling that something is not right or too good to be true? Have you ever heard the phone ring and known before answering who it was? Well, most of us do, because it says the name on the phone. Anyway, this is your intuition, your sixth sense at work. But how strong your intuitive abilities are is dependent upon how often you use them. Do you trust that gut feeling or knowing? Or do you push it aside as illogical and irrational? To have a strong intuitive ability and to use it has nothing to do with the paranormal or supernatural. Would it surprise you to know that there is a lot of legitimate research, including studies by the U.S. Navy, into how intuition works and how it can be strengthened to help in situations where intuitive thinking may save lives? Some of the greatest scientific discoveries have been in moments of intuitive insight. Archimedes, Isaac Newton, and Frederick Kekule all followed their intuition. Albert Einstein believed that intuition was of great value when it came to innovation and invention. It is very easy to dismiss the intuitive feelings and thoughts that come to us, but your sixth sense is no different from your other senses. It is there to be used, and incorporating it into your everyday life will only enhance it. So I just want to say, too, because the High Priestess showed up a couple of times in your reading, once with this Queen of Wands. So again, I feel like I'm reading for the Queen here, and that could represent your energy, Gemini. But she came out in the reverse with this Eight of Wands too. So in your intuition could be saying, you know, you're going about this the way you want to go about it because it feels good to you. But you know that you're imposing your energy onto others and imposing your hopes onto others and not necessarily listening to what others have to say, because this is not a balanced situation. And I think that you know that intuitively. The fact that the Queen of Wands showed up on the High Priestess card, to me indicates that you know that what you want, at least right now, is not matching what other people want with regard to this new beginning. So if you plan to have this new beginning with other people, you might have to step back for a second, listen to what other people are hoping for and what they want, and open your mind to other perspectives. What's indicating with the High Priestess in reverse is that the reality is the reason why you're experiencing some delays and some obstacles probably with getting things going or moving in the right direction or getting people on board is because not everybody's on the same page. It's that simple. You know, at first it looked that way. These were the very first two cards that came out. These were the very, very first two cards that came out. But that's not the case. There are people who are not agreeing with how things are moving forward. So Gemini, I'm going to leave that here. I hope that this was helpful to you. I hope that it enables you to move forward with whatever endeavor that you are moving toward. I wish you the best of luck. I hope things work out between you and the people that you're dealing with. Thank you so much for watching. If you did resonate, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you want to, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Gemini.